Right, that's the parsnip seeds in, and carrot and parsnip seeds in, I should say. And all we've done is made a centimetre deep hole, put 3 seeds in each hole. There we go. And just to see what happens, I've put parsnips, 1 hole for parsnip for each compost. So there's 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. But that's them done. And we'll just get them covered up. Right, we'll get that done, and then we'll come back and have a look, because we've got some plastic there to put over the top to help keep them warm as well and keep the birds off. Right, so I've rehydrated the peas. I'm going to sow again, and once again thanks to Nigel Muddy Boots for the tip on doing that. I'm just going to sow a few inside again, and the rest I'm going to put straight outside and see if I have any better luck. So we'll get that done and we'll come back and have a look once it's all done. Right, so that's the peas done inside, and all I've done is simply put some compost in the holes, and I'm just pushing them gently till they're just below the surface, and then just covering them up, and I'll give those a drink, and that's it. Let's go get the ones outside done now. Right, so that's the pea seeds in, and what I've done is, starting from this row here, right, so there's 2 for the munch 2, and the last 3 either side at the back up until that one, and I need to hydrate some peas for that side, but that's them in. Fingers crossed now. Right, so I'm just gonna get these cabbages planted off, and I've never had much luck with them in the raised bed, so I'm going to try them in some canny deep pots just for an experiment, just to see what happens. And like I say, I'm basically trying to make me back garden an allotment, making the most of the space I've gotten. For the most part, that's not a lot. So cabbages in pots this year, I'm only growing 4, and all I've done is, these are flower pots, and I've just drilled some holes in the bottom just for drainage, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to put gravel in the bottom like that, in the bottom of each, just for some drainage, fill with compost and get the cabbage in. So I'll get those done, and then we'll come back and we'll have a look. Because these are cabbages, what I'm doing is, as I'm getting so much compost in, I'm really firming it down as much as I can, because they really like a strong foothold, and they don't heart up properly if they're not in really firm ground. So X amount of compost in the pot, and really firm it down, just as I would if I was putting them in the ground in the bed. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to continue doing that as I'm going. Right, I'll get some more in and we'll come back again and have a look. Right, so that's that done. And now I'm just going to place the cabbages in the middle, like so, and fill up around the edge again, firming down as much as I can, so they're in nice and tight and they've got a nice firm foothold. Okay, so I'll get that done and I'll come back. Right, so that's the first 2 pots done, and my idea is I'm going to use these sticks with some fine mesh to help keep the butterflies off. Haven't quite sussed out how to put it on yet, but when I've done it I'll show you. Right, so I'll get the next lot done. Right, so I've kind of sussed it. So all I've done is got some mesh, stitched it down the side with a bit of garden string, tied it at the top and tied it at the bottom around the pot, and hopefully that keeps the pesky little buggers out. Right, so I've just potted on the cucumbers. I didn't film it because there was nothing overly exciting. Just potted on the way you would normally. And what I've done is I've put some little tent pegs in there. And what I'm going to do is, while they're still small, I'm going to get the string ready. Because I waited too long last year. So the string's going to go from these tent pegs straight up and along the roof to that side. So the cucumbers, as they grow, can climb up and along. I was debating whether to put them on the floor, but I think for maximum light I'm going to leave them on that shelf. I think so. Right, I'm going to do the string and then I'll show you what I've done. Right, there we go. So now as the plants get bigger, they can grab a hold of the string and work their way up and across. Hopefully. Right, putting some more of the mangtout in. And I'm doing the back two there, and I'm just going to sprinkle them in basically. These came up really well, unlike the peas, so I'll get them in, put a few extra in than I actually want, because chances are mice are going to get a few. So do the most awkward bit first, which is the back. Like that, and just cover them up and firm them down. And again, I'm doing these all at different times, so I haven't just got one massive harvest of them. I've got, you know, a few. Right, so I'm going to prepare the bed for the mulai. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig it out into the wheelbarrow and sieve it back in to get all the stones and rubbish out of there. If you don't know, mulai is a radish about the size of a parsnip. Long white radish. It originates from Asia. I've never grew it before, but I always like to have a go at growing something unusual. So we'll get started. And raised beds are ideal, but when it comes to doing things like this, they're a bit hard work. But it's all worth it in the end. Get some of this done. It's a bit wet, so it's probably not going to be ideal, but we'll see. Right, we'll get the rest of this out and we'll come back. Right, so I've filled the wheelbarrow and I still couldn't get it all out, so I've just moved it to one side and basically I've put my largest mesh in me sieve, and I'm just going to not worry about it too much, but do this bit first into this side. So I just need to go get a bag to put this in, and this will just get moved somewhere else. I'll just chuck it in the front garden, into one of the beds for now. Right, so I'll go get a bag and I'll cut. Right, that's that bit done. Now onto the wheelbarrow. Right, so that's that all done. The soil saved and topped up with compost. So now it says here, like I say, I've never grew these before. Right, the camera's just died on the GoPro, I'm afraid. So like I was saying, there's the thing all prepared now. I've just done some shallow rows It says an inch apart, but I've left 2 inches between, and I'm just going to sow thinly and cover, and I'm going to cloche as well for now until they start coming through. So I'll get that done and then we'll come back and have a look. Right, there we go, that's the moulai in and cloched for now. That's the end of a very productive day in the garden.